Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday Sportscast. I'm here with Kieran Coyle.
Hello.
And today we're just going to be talking about the weekend's football action from the Premier League. So, we're going to start from none other than Old Trafford. Kieran, what do you think about this game? Obviously, Man United need to get the win, and they did eventually with a Mkhitaryan goal. Very well taken, may I add. Kieran, do you think this is Man United's way back to top four?
I think it's always been on top four. I've been a very optimistic fan of Manchester United, and I do think it's going to really help us with the push because we're now only 6 points off top four instead of whatever we were before the start. 9 points? I don't know, but we're a fair bit off top four. Never mind the top of the league. I think the league's gone. The league's gone now. But top four definitely something which is still on the table, and we have to be optimistic about things. I mean, you never know. We've got Crystal Palace on Wednesday, we've got West Brom on Saturday, so it's games which are not too difficult. So, if we get 2 wins out of that and the teams above us drop points, who knows? We could be in a fantastic position going into the new year.
And did you notice that Jose Mourinho was actually well behaved this game?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
He wasn't out on the touchline kicking bottles anywhere, whenever it didn't go his way. He actually behaved himself for once, and, maybe that's a sign of new things to come, more reformed Manchester United, starting from the manager, of course. So, we also have to point out that Mkhitaryan is injured, and Jose Mourinho has said it will be up to Boxing Day, where he'll be fit to play against, I believe it is, Sunderland at home, I believe. So,
yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but
thanks, Danny Rose, for that one.
Speaking of Danny Rose and of course Tottenham, how do you think they played? I thought that Tottenham had a good game. Some refereeing decisions did not go their way.
No.
I thought they didn't really offer much going forward. Defensively solid again as always. Only that one little blip where Mkhitaryan got through, but apart from that, they played really quite well at the back. I think going forward, Kane didn't really show up, Eriksen didn't show up, or Son. I can go on.
I think Dele Alli didn't show up at all. That's what I was going to say. He was non-existent for me in that game. He was in the game. He caused a few fouls for the other team. That was pretty much it. I didn't see any technical skills from him, which disappointed me a bit. Obviously, as a Man United fan, that part of me didn't disappoint me. But for the flow and the entertainment of the game, it did disappoint me slightly. But there was a few Tottenham players, as you said, who did not turn up the occasion, and that's why in the end we were able to hold out and get the 3 points.
What are you laughing at?
No, I'm just so happy we got the 3 points. Yes, boys.
Great. Great. A bit overly happy on this Monday evening, but I also agree. I think that Tottenham, on another day, on another weekend, they would have given up more of a fight, and not sure whether our defence would have coped, but Phil Jones did play an absolute blinder. He was my man of the match for sure. Mkhitaryan got the goal, but Phil Jones, sticking his head where other people just don't want to put it,
making faces all over the pitch.
I know. And he seems to be this season. Hopefully, he can carry on. Obviously, when Smalling comes back in, he'll be back to second choice. But
better than John Stones? Question mark.
I wouldn't go that far. But I'd say that maybe he's probably not going to be first choice for Man United once Smalling comes back. But I do see him in the future either staying on at Man United, being a good utility player, coming in when injuries, or just playing for a different team. And so anyway, that's that game covered. Probably the
come on, United! Yes, finally I get that out of my system. Let's move on to the next game, which was the Leicester Man City game, 5 o'clock kickoff. I mean, what a game that was. 4-2 Leicester. Jamie Vardy's first hat-trick since he was back at Fleetwood Town. To go on a goal drought like that and to score a hat-trick, just not care about any of the critics and just answer them with a hat-trick against Man City. Absolutely unbelievable. Man City in the first half did not show up whatsoever, And Leicester, all the credit for them because they played an absolutely fantastic game of football. Mahrez was excellent. Vardy was excellent. All their team was fantastic, and credit to them. And it was thanks to them Man City dropped some points.
I think that I echo obviously what you're gonna say, and I feel like what's his name? Jamie Vardy. That's it, Jamie Vardy. It kind of sums up the Premier League and how great it is that Jamie Vardy scores a hat-trick after having not scored in 16 appearances prior. To have scored a hat-trick against Man City, then they're no slouch team. They're quality. They've got serious quality all over the pitch. It's just incredible, and we saw the Leicester of last season as opposed to Leicester of this season. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy for that result. Leicester deserved it. There was no question about that. Guardiola, a bit of pressure. I'm sure he can handle it. Not much, but still a bit of pressure. Man City, obviously, without Aguero or Fernandinho, struggling. Kieran,
is he adapting? The Premier League is making him crumble at the minute. The Premier League's a lot different to playing a really shit La Liga team. It's very different, or playing a really bad Bundesliga side. It's very different. All the teams
have something to offer.
Yeah, definitely. All the teams are capable of beating the big boys.
And I feel like the weather might play a factor too.
Yeah, I mean, it's very cold down here in England. In Spain, it's pretty much nice weather all year round, pretty much. So a fantastic win for Leicester, but Guardiola needs to get his act together with Man City if they want to be genuine title contenders. They're definitely not out of the title race, for sure. They're still in it, but they need to make sure they buck their ideas up, or else they might be slipping down that table.
Now, another thing that I'd like to mention on the topic of managers adapting to the Premier League, I'd say Bob Bradley and Swansea City. Now, at the weekend, Swansea did pick up a very, very good victory against Sunderland, I believe.
Yeah, Sunderland, fantastic team.
Bob Bradley being an American manager coming into the Premier League, it was always going to be difficult, especially with Swansea, who, when he took over them, were in dire straits. They're staring down the barrel. And, Bob Bradley started badly. But he's starting to get results, and I feel like he's one of those managers. Like he may not play the most attractive football, but he will get you results, and I think that's the sort of manager he's going to be. He's going to be a manager that doesn't necessarily warrant them sometimes, but does get results.
Definitely.
And I feel like that Swansea victory is just what they needed, because Sunderland are going to be there battling with them in the relegation, and it's a very, very good victory for them. Gylfi Sigurdsson again pulling the strings in that Swansea midfield, and he's been a vital player this season for them. What do you think, Kieran?
I definitely think that Sigurdsson is wasted at Swansea. I definitely think that he should be at a better club. Like, he should definitely be playing for someone like Everton, or someone who I think he's definitely a player who could be playing European football.
That's interesting. But don't you think that he is. He's kind of one of those players which is like he's kind of suited to Swansea. Like I couldn't really picture in any other club colours apart from Swansea City.
Yeah, I get that.
I feel like he fits perfectly into their team. So I don't really see how. I mean, I reckon he would fit in other teams, but I just think he fits too well into the Swansea team that I don't feel like he'd be possibly. I don't feel like he'd be like in. He'd do as well as he's at Swansea right now.
Well, I think I take your point, but I just think it'd be pretty interesting to see him with some very decent players around him and see how he would do. I think he'd probably get better numbers than he is now, to be honest. If he had very, very good strikers who he could feed and they would score, more goals than the Swansea players. And I think it'd just be interesting to see how he would do in another, top quality team. But obviously he probably wouldn't get into the sides like, Man City, Chelsea, but maybe someone like Everton where they've got a decent striker in Romelu Lukaku and some good quality players. I definitely think that, he... I was just trying to deep throw the mic there. I definitely think that I just want to see it interesting to see how he'd do there. But you have your views, we have my views. That's how it works on the Monday Sportscast. Anyway, what's the next story, lads?
Right. So obviously in the Premier League you have to have we had a goal scoring record on Saturday. Every team, right? This is very interesting and very this proves how the Premier League, in my opinion, for excitement and drama, is the best league in the world. In my opinion. Others may disagree with me, but I do believe that in the first half of games. So on Saturday, every team at home, every home team scored 3 goals.
Well, it's madness.
Every home team scored 3 goals. 29 goals. 29 goals were scored on Saturday alone, and that was out of I think it was like 5 or 6 games or something like that.
Yeah.
So, match of the day was lit, and second of all, that's the Premier League for you. It wasn't necessarily the biggest teams that were playing, as well. But I'm not sure what. I think I just saw Kieran doing something he shouldn't.
But it's a very nice scoring record there, and the Premier League is one of the best leagues in the world, and that just proves it. The fact that all those goals go in, and
that's literally what I just said. But carry on.
No, okay. Well, before I start rambling, let's move on to something else, shall we?
We should move on.
Fucking biscuits.
Oh my god. So we're new to this, so
by the way, if you if you like, you support this video, hit that subscribe button and like for some more sportscasts, But
anyway, so that's enough. That's enough, I think, of the Premier League for now. We need to talk about something in the news. We need to talk about something else. This story is going to touch your heart.
Okay.
Touch your Joe Hart, because we're doing a Joe Hart watch.
Okay, Joe Hart. So he's playing in Torino, laughing at Claudio Bravo, probably. And
this moves me on to Loris Karius.
Oh yeah, Loris Karius, yes.
Loris Karius. His first name is one of a great goalkeeper of Loris, and Karius. Well, you know the rest.
I suppose because it could play on words like Karius will carry Liverpool.
Karius home Karius. Yeah. Carry on Karius. So anyway, this incident came in the 2-2 draw of Liverpool and West Ham at Anfield on Sunday. So
he scored with his foot. Antonio, he scored with his foot.
Indeed he did. He usually scores with his head. That's the joke. So anyway, basically what happened was it was a bad game for goalkeepers. Randolph did not cover himself in glory with that awful spill from that cross from Mane, I think it was.
Yeah.
Origi tapping in.
He made a good save, though. He made a fantastic save. Probably one of the saves of the season.
He made the save of the season so far, according to Philip Neville, against Liverpool. Henderson with the shot, saved, top corner. But I want to talk about this free kick and this nonsense between the Neville brothers and Loris Karius. I mean, the Neville brothers, they're more like the Chocolate brothers in my estimation. But thanks for that. Thanks for appreciating my humour. So anyway, I'd say that Loris. So the free kick from Payet, relatively slow. Relatively. I can't think of the word now. You put me off. He's doing some sort of dance. I think it's a dab. I think it's a dab.
No, okay.
You're dabbing in the corner. Anyway, so So basically, wasn't too far out. It was dangerous. It was in the centre of the goal. So you think someone of Payet's quality is going to get over the wall. Even though the wall did not help Karius at all. And then as the ball comes over, you think, oh, this is quite a tame effort. No, Loris Karius is here. He's going to finger it into his own net. He's going to finger it into his own net. That's what I'm going to call it. A lovely over the wall. The wall did not do its job. Goes over the wall. And Karius, he gets a firm palm to it.
in the back of the net. And after this,
That wasn't the end of it, mate.
I mean, the second goal. Let me just explain that. I mean, he didn't know where to go or where to stay. Miscommunication from the defenders. Easy run for Antonio.
And as we know, at the end of it, Antonio scored with his foot. So that was a very exciting match. But before this and afterwards, Gary Neville and Philip Neville now, after match of the day, have come under scrutiny about. Long story short, they're annoyed that Gary Neville, Philip Neville are commenting on Karius's performances. Jurgen Klopp's come out to say that basically that he as he basically failed as a manager, his judgment on players has failed. Obviously, alluding to his failed management. Why should we let him comment on players? And this is an interesting.
Where you get part.
This is an interesting point actually, because I do agree that and everyone can be a pundit sometimes. Everyone can be someone who's like I'm just commenting on player performances when they've never done that job. Commenting on goalkeepers when they've never been in goal before. So I do agree there's an element of people criticising too early. People alluding to De Gea. When he first signed for United, he was a bit suspect. Of course, made that mistake in the Community Shield, leading to Dzeko's second, I think it was.
Yeah, it was second.
So I think it's all a bit chaotic, really. This situation, But Steve, what's this? Loris Karius. I think just give him time. He might do the business for Liverpool. I'm sorry, he's still dabbing. He continues to dab.
I'm not dabbing.
He continues to dab. Anyway, and then pretty much, I'm just gonna say give him time. What do you think, Kieran? Do you think he deserves?
Being a goalkeeper myself, in my Sunday League matches, I wasn't, didn't really want to play there, but I took one for the team. Anyway, that's a different story.
Very different story. I heard you conceded 9, was it?
Right, let's just move on. But yeah, I definitely
9 in one game, people.
I definitely think that it's very early on in the season. We're not even halfway through yet, and also, being a goalkeeper myself, when you're actually standing there between the sticks and you've got somewhere like that, the wall's right in front of you, it's very hard to see. And you've got a quality free kick coming over and dipping like that. It's very hard to save.
Dippers.
I'm not gonna lie, it's very, very hard to save. And also. Second goal where he was coming or going, the judgment was probably, didn't really help by his defence as well. I think also a point is here that the defence that's in front of him is very, very difficult to, for him, because he has to.
Well, he does have Joel Matip, who's actually playing pretty well for Liverpool.
Yeah,
so
he had a shocking game yesterday, though. Had a really shocking game, I thought. Didn't do the job. I mean, he hit the bar with a header, but that was pretty much his main sort of attribute. He let the ball drop over his shoulder for the Antonio goal, which really was bad defending. But I do feel for Karius in some ways, because the defence he has in front of him really isn't good at all. But
so we agree that Liverpool is shit, and so are Newcastle, just to put it out there. Even though Dwight Gale seems to be on fire, and your defence is definitely terrified. Anyway, so carrying on, we are just going to bring up one last point before we go into some admin stuff, because obviously we are a new channel. We are going to have to introduce some links on obviously what we want to do here. So anyway, we're going to produce one more point, and that is that so we're going to introduce one more point, and that will be that in football these days there is a common issue. And
diving.
Diving apparently. Diving is an issue. Well done, Kieran. Well done. He's pointed out an issue. He's actually contributed something.
Points to Gryffindor.
Remember that movie? Remember that movie? Yeah. They're all grown up now, and you feel old. And one day your kids will feel old, and their kids will feel old, and their kids will feel old.
Everyone gets old, pal. It's just how you take the wind.
And you're going to have wrinkles.
Fuck me, that was about.
Like, you're going to have wrinkles on your wrinkles.
Just carry on.
Wrinkles.
Right, we're getting away from
and
the
eventually, you'll be listening to the Monday Sportscast in your pyjamas, watching Jeremy Kyle on the television, wondering where did my life go. Anyway, so back to what we're actually going to talk about, which obviously is, the table, the Premier League table as it stands at the moment. Now everyone's played 15 matches, and who's Chelsea are the top of the league, being West Brom, obviously.
They're scary. They're actually scary.
They're scarily good. They are scarily good. Diego Costa, I'd him for the Golden Boot this season if Chelsea go on and win the league. I feel like, Chelsea are doing really, really well. And, I just want to hear, before we, head into some admin stuff and, introducing ourselves properly, I want you to give me your thoughts on who you think's going to win the league, who's got the best chances to win the league. And also, finally, to wrap this up, we're going to say who you should be looking out for next week.
Definitely Chelsea, I would say, are one of my favourites. Also, maybe Arsenal as well. I know they've got a history of bottling it and what have you, but I definitely think they've got the players and the mentality to win a title. And it'd be good to see a fresh, Arsenal haven't won anything really in, a long time. So I think it'd be pretty good for them if they won it. Chelsea, obviously, as I've said. Manchester City are not out of it by a long stretch. They've got the players as well. So once, Aguero gets back, and if they start performing well, and if Guardiola gets a grip of the team and starts implementing his tactics and stuff, they can really, really challenge for that title. But yeah, those are my three picks. I'd say Chelsea first, then maybe Arsenal second, and Man City third. What about you?
I do agree that Chelsea looking really good. I think they're favourites for the title. I would say also, I'd say do not write off Liverpool just yet. I feel like under Klopp, they are more organised. They did have a blip against West Ham. They could have easily won that game. They had a lot of chances. So I do not write Liverpool off. I say Liverpool are my third favourites. Chelsea, then Arsenal, then Liverpool, then Man City. That's how I think my top four is going to go.
I definitely think Man United could still win the league.
I feel like they have about as much chance as Mourinho not getting sent off for the rest of the season. It's unbelievable. It's quite extraordinary, how you would never dream a few years ago. You'd never dream about saying Man United are out of the title race, but just think there's nothing there anymore. There's nothing there. It's just this season's a write-off for Man United. If they do not get Champions League, it's another failure in my estimation. I don't give a shit about a transitional period. We've been doing this for fucking 3 years. But I think that's enough of that for now. Enough of my ramblings for now. Now we need to get on to the important stuff, just to sign off really, and talk about any links that we have. So Kieran, take it away.
So thank you. This has been fantastic sportscast right here.
So we will be running the podcast, obviously called the Monday Sportscast, and also we may do a Friday Sportscast. We haven't decided yet for the preview of the week's games. Obviously we have Wednesday games coming. I love me a midweek game in December, but games coming thick and fast. Content from us is going to be coming. Don't you worry. We might be uploading this on our Man United channel. I don't know.
You never know, really. We've got. There'll be a Twitter link in the description as well, so you can get. We'll probably put some polls out there, and we'll get your interaction as well. Also, give us your feedback in the comments down below to see how well we've done. And as I said, that with midweek games, we might decide maybe we could do a live podcast as a live stream, or we could watching along with the action. Giving our commentary. Yeah. If you like to hear, you'll certainly like it live. Isn't that right? Yeah, that is correct. That is correct.
But anyway, so. Kieran.
That's us signing off for now.
It's us signing off. Obviously, so signing off with the headlines. Costa's back. Manchester United loves Mkhitaryan. And finally, it's carry on carriers for Manchester United fans. See you next time.
Goodbye.